to stand. We're going to start with a stand. So I'm going to give everyone a moment here to get adjusted to stand. And let's take a moment here to find your mountain pose. Separate your feet about hip-width distance. And again, if you're not certain of what your hip-width distance is, just take your two fists, place them between your big toes, and then just gently rock back and forth. And just sense as you observe your physical body, your sense of balance right now. And then see if you can come to stillness. And as you come into stillness, I'm just going to invite you to pause. As you pause here, just notice the physical sensations. I welcome you to this morning's practice. Welcome to summer. Summer solstice. Tomorrow is the International Day of Yoga, the official summer solstice, but we're going to celebrate that today. We're going to celebrate with starting with what we call our sun salutations, some sun salutes. I'll take them nice and slow. It will not be fast. We're going to just take a time just to salute the sun. Again, everyone finding your mountain pose. Feel the four corners of your feet. The big toe mound, your little toe mound, inner heel and outer heel. Get grounded. Actually, bend your knees a little as if you're trying to make an imprint of your foot in the sand. So gently press down. On the outer edges of your feet, just gently try to separate them apart and really anchor down. Then soften your knees, hips over heels, bring your shoulders forward and up, and roll them down the back. The back of your neck is long, the crown of your head is reaching up towards the sky. As you take that mental photo of your body, feel the physical sensations and notice where there's areas of ease and areas of dis-ease. And make sure you honor your body throughout the practice. So if you're feeling any discomfort, any pain at all, you're going to listen to your body. You're not going to push yourself in any way that you shouldn't be. Be aware of those physical sensations. Now we're going to do 3 nice long inhalations by sweeping our arms out to the sides. We're going to lift them up and maybe bring your arms overhead and look up. Maybe palms touch. On an exhale, bring your arms straight down by your side as you exhale out. We're going to repeat that 2 more times. So inhale, sweep your arms out to the sides. Fill your lungs with your breath. Lift your head up. Look up, and then as you exhale, slowly lower your arms down by your side. Last time, sweep your arms all the way up, look up. And then as you exhale, we're going to bring the hands slowly down through the center. So draw your thumbs to your third eye. We're just going to pause here, acknowledging this place of our truth and our light. Bring your hands to your lips, the place of where we communicate with kind words to ourselves and to others. Bring your hands to your heart center, bow your head down. Take a moment here to acknowledge this place of your truth and light, remembering always to be true to yourself. And maybe set that dedication for the practice today. What is it that you need to receive from this practice for yourself, for you? Whether it's for physical healing, emotional healing, spiritual healing, set that intention Where the attention goes, the energy flows. So let's keep that in mind as we move today throughout our practice. Take one more breath. And then as you exhale, let your hands come down by your sides. So I'm going to come towards the front of my mat and face the front of my mat. And we're going to begin with a very slow inhale, rise, lift your arms all the way out and up, palms touch. And then we're going to come into an exhale and a forward fold. So as you exhale, arms out to the sides, bring your fingertips can come down towards your shins, your knees, or the floor. That's your practice. You're going to inhale, come halfway up. And then on your exhale, plant your fingertips down to the floor. And we're going to step the right foot back and lower the right knee to the floor. We're going to inhale. You can rest your hands on your knees or thighs, or you can sweep your arms overhead. So I'm always going to give you choices. Take the choice that feels available to you. We call this crescent lunge pose. Take a nice inhale and crescent lunge. We're going to exhale, plant your hands back down to the mat, tuck the toes of your back foot, and step back into your downward dog. From your downward dog, just take a moment here. Maybe just pedal your feet just a bit. Stretch out the backs of your legs. And then as you inhale, step your right foot forward. Lower your left knee down. Inhale, come back up to a crescent lunge pose. Lift your heart, lift your sternum. And then as you exhale, lower your fingertips down. Tuck the toes of the back foot underneath and step forward. Forward fold, exhale. Inhale, come all the way up again. Bring your arms up, look up, and then bring your hands straight down through the center. Just pause a moment here with your thumbs pressed into your heart center and just begin to notice the physical sensations of just gently starting to move, wakening the body in these movements. We'll repeat that again. So again, facing the front of your mat. Inhale, sweep your arms all the way out and up, look up. And then as you exhale, hinge from your hips as you lean forward. Keep your knees softly bent if you choose to. Exhale. Inhale, lengthen your neck and your spine in a half salute. Exhale, plant your fingertips on the floor. This time, step your left foot back. Lower your left knee. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Again, hands can rest on your thigh, or you can lift them up all the way overhead. Crescent lunge. Lift your heart, lift your gaze. As you exhale, lower your fingertips down to the floor, tuck the toes of your back foot, and step foot back to downward dog. Draw your shoulder blades down the back. Notice your breath. Take another moment here. Breath in, breath out. Now step your left foot forward. Lower the right knee to the floor and come back up into your crescent lunge. Inhale. And then as we exhale, lower your fingertips down to the floor. Tuck the toes of the back foot underneath and step your back foot forward. Inhale, sweep your arms all the way out and up. Palms to touch. Exhale, hands to heart. Pause again. Observe. Notice. We're going to keep the pace nice and slow. We're going to do that one more time. We're just going to change it just a bit. As we inhale, we're going to inhale, lift our arms all the way out and up. Exhale, forward fold. All the way down. Exhale. Inhale, come halfway up. As you exhale now, step right back into your downward dog. Both feet back. From your downward dog, we're going to come forward to plank. Now, for some of you, just drop your knees. Maybe that's the best way to go. Or if you choose to hold plank, find a nice strong plank, strong tummy, strong core. We're going to lower down, knees, drop your knees, chest and chin onto your belly. You're going to inhale, come on up to your cobra. Relax your shoulders, soften your gaze, soften your buttocks, relax your hips. Exhale, lower down. Now tuck your toes underneath, press back up into your downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your right leg up, step your right foot forward to your right hand, the heel of your back foot comes to the floor. Come on up to a warrior one, nice and strong warrior one. Relax your shoulders. Take one more breath. As you exhale, we're going to lower the hands. We'll step back into our downward dog. Draw the shoulder blades down the back. Inhale, now step your left foot forward. Warrior one, left foot forward. Draw the shoulder blades down the back. And then as you exhale, step both feet together, hands to heart. And then let your hands come down by your sides. Again, just observe those physical sensations. Now, hopefully the blood is starting to flow. We're going to move just a little bit more, making sure we get all those directions of the spine before we move into a little bit deeper into the practice. So let's stretch out. Inhale, sweep your arms all the way out and up. Interlace your fingers. If you would, press your palms up towards the sky. Relax your shoulder blades down the back. Feet a good hip width distance apart. Feel grounded through your feet. We're going to side bend over to your side, whatever side you choose to. Lean and stretch. Keep your shoulders and hearts open. As you inhale, come back up and lean over to the opposite side. Feel the stretch through the rib cage. Inhale, come all the way up. And then as you exhale, we're going to extend into a twist. Bring your right hand behind you, left arm in front of you as you look over your right shoulder. Feel that twist in the physical body. Relax your shoulder blades. Inhale, come back up. And you're going to go in the opposite direction. Left hand behind, right arm forward. Look over your left shoulder. Pause a moment here. And then inhale back to center. Arms together, hands to heart. And then let your hands come down by your sides. And again, just observe those physical sensations. Let's bring our shoulders forward and up and roll them back and down. We'll do that 2 more times. Bring your shoulders forward and up. Exhale back and down. And then last time, forward and up, and bring them back and down. Now inhale, bring your right arm up and gently clasp the side of your head and tilt your right ear towards your right shoulder. Your left arm is going to come out to the side nice and long. We're going to just move through that extension of the left arm, palm up, rotate the palm up, and then rotate the palm down. We're just stretching through the neck and shoulders. We repeat, palm up and palm down. Last time, palm up and palm down. Gently bring your head upright and then lower. And just observe that energy along that side of your neck and how that feels. We'll do the opposite side. So bring your left hand to the side of your head, tilt your left ear towards your left shoulder. Notice that stretch along the side of your neck and down the shoulder. Extend your arm out to the side. Nice long arm. And then we're going to rotate palm up and then palm down. So the rotation is happening at your shoulder joint. Palm up. Inner rotation and outer rotation, palm down. This is inner rotation down, external rotation when you bring your palm up, internal rotation as you bring your palm down. Good. Release your hands, bring your hands behind your back, interlace, bring the knuckles towards your tailbone, roll the shoulder blades down the back, stand up nice and tall. And for some of you, this may be an excellent stretch. But if you're feeling any discomfort in your shoulders at all, clasping your hands, maybe you just want to reach for the back of your shirt. But if you have your hands clasped, And you want to take this just a little bit deeper in a stretch. We're going to come into a forward fold. And again, as you hinge, keep your knees soft, hinge at your hips as you come forward. And then if this is available to you and you want to bring the crown of your head towards the floor, go for it. Feel that stretch. Some of you might choose to lift your arms away from your back. And this really opens up through your shoulder joints. Take a moment here. Gently release your hands from behind your back. You're going to sweep your arms forward. We're going to come right up through a chair pose. So sit up. Come on up, nice and tall. Inhale, palms to touch. And then exhale, hands to heart. Let your hands come down by your sides. In today's practice, we're going to move around the 4 directions of our mat. I call that a mandala. A mandala is a circular movement. And with our mat, even though our mat is rectangular, I want you to feel the energy, your circle of energy surrounding your mat as we move around what I call the 4 corners. For today's practice, when I'm facing this direction towards the window, this is the front of my mat. There's the long edge of my mat facing the camera. Then I have the angel back here. When I face the angel, that's the back of my mat. And then there will be times when you'll see the back of my body. And then again, facing back towards the front of the mat. So we're going to take some moves. I will give you variations of the moves as we move so that there's different levels here. And if for any reason, if balancing is too challenging for you today to balance on one leg, for whatever the reasons, always remember to modify. You can keep both feet on the ground. So I always like to give you those choices. So listen to what the physical sensations of your body are telling you as you move through this practice. And I call this the warrior mandala. So these poses are steeped in the warrior poses, and they really bring a sense of grounding and feeling the earth. And I want you to all to feel the stability of feeling the ground beneath your feet. So as we just begin facing the front of your mat, I'll invite you to get both feet firmly grounded into the earth. Feel the 4 corners of your feet. The big toe mound, your little toe mound, inner heel and outer heel. Bring your hands to your heart, shoulder blades down the back, and just observe. The first pose we're going to take is a tree pose. So your left leg will be the standing leg. Take the inside of the heel of your left foot. You can place it on the inside of your ankle, or you can slide it up onto your shin. Find the pose that offers you balance and stability. Gently lift your right knee forward and then extend the leg back so you can put the toes on the floor. We're going to move into a warrior 3 here. So hinge from your hips. You can keep the toe on the floor. This is perfectly acceptable. If you want a little bit of challenge with your balance today, roll off the toe. Keep your front knee bent and lift the back leg up. Lower the back foot to the floor and point your toes to the long edge of your mat. So heels are in, toes are out, and we'll take the 5-pointed star. So in a 5-pointed star, your legs are extended, your arms are extended, your posture is tall, lifting up through the crown of your head, spreading out the energy from fingertips to fingertips. From this posture, we'll move into warrior 2. So point your right foot towards the back of your mat, bend your right knee, and come right into a beautiful warrior 2. Feel the stretch. Feel the body really reaching fingertips to fingertips. Inhale here, gazes over the middle finger of the arm, forward arm. Inhale, sweep the back arm forward as you come up into your warrior 1 facing the back of your mat. Lift your heart, lift your gaze. Soften your shoulders. Your palms can touch. Your palms can be separated. You might like to take the temple mudra where your index fingers are pointing up and you interlace the three behind in temple, or Charlie's Angel Mudra, we call it. Take a breath here, inhale. Now on your next exhale, we will cartwheel your hands down to the floor. You're going to step your right foot back into a downward dog. Find the strength of your downward dog, strong arms, strong legs. Lift your left leg up to the sky and step your left foot forward, right heel down, and move right into that warrior one opposite side. Lift your heart, lift your gaze. From warrior one, open up to warrior two. Facing the back edge of your mat, this time left foot forward, left knee bent. Strong arms. Warrior two, transition, point your toes to your right to the five-pointed star. And from the five-pointed star, point your toes towards the front of your mat, come to a high lunge. So here's a choice I'm going to offer here. You can stay in your high lunge. If you choose to add a little bit more of a challenge, we're going to add a twist here. So place the fingertips of the left hand under your left shoulder and twist up into lunge with a twist. And again, I'm giving you choices, so you can stay in a high lunge or you add a lunge with a twist. We'll finish by bringing your hands down, stepping forward, and sweeping your arms all the way up, palms to touch, hands to heart. Good. Now that was one round leading. We're going to do the same thing on the opposite foot. All right, so start in your mountain pose. Get your feet grounded, focused. We're going to move first into tree pose. So your right leg will be the standing leg. Take the heel of your left foot either on the inside of your ankle or slide it up onto the inside of your calf. Focus on your drishti. A drishti is a gazing point to look at in front of you for balance and focus. Lift your left knee forward and then extend the leg back. Now toe could be on the floor. Keep the front knee bent as you come into warrior three. From warrior three, lower the back foot on the floor. Come up to your warrior one. And from warrior one, we transition now into our five-pointed star. From five-pointed star, move to warrior two, facing left knee bent, left foot forward. Warrior two, facing the back of your mat. Warrior two to warrior one transition. Now for any of you who do not want to take a downward dog, you can stay here. Or transition, bringing your hands down to the mat. Step back to downward dog. Take a breath here. Feel the strength of the body in a downward dog. Take a nice big inhale, nice big exhale. Lift your right leg up. Step your right foot forward to warrior one. Warrior one to warrior two. Making sure your knees and toes go in the same direction. So always check and make sure. Look over that right knee. Make sure you can see the toes of the right foot. Transition to your five-pointed star. And then transition to a high lunge where you're balancing on the ball of the back foot. And remember, again, this is a yogi's choice. You can choose to stay in your high lunge, or if you choose to add a twist, place the right palm under your right shoulder and twist looking up towards your left hand. Keep your spine long, neck in line with the spine. Lower the left hand to the mat and step your back foot forward And then inhale up through your chair pose, all the way up to stand. Hands to your heart. And now we've completed a full mandala, right side, left side. So I'm going to repeat that again, but I'm going to add a little bit more spice to it, spice it up a bit. Now, if I'm making it too spicy for you today, you're going to just do what we just did, okay? You don't have to add any spice to it if you felt that that practice really has met you where you need to be. So we'll begin again facing the front of your mat. Stand in your mountain, hands to heart. Knees slightly bent, but now we're going to come into tree pose. So take the heel of your right foot to the inside or slide it up to your calf. Find your balance, find your focus. Transition into your warrior three. Either extend your leg behind, you can keep your toes on the ground. I like to keep my front knee gently bent as I take my warrior three. Lift the back leg up if you can, or keep your toes on the mat. Step your back foot back and come up to warrior one. Warrior one will transition to five-pointed star, and the option in five-pointed star now is to come into bending your knees into the temple pose. Temple pose, you really want to make sure knees and toes point in the same direction. The outer thighs gently press back. Lengthen your tailbone and stack your spine nice and long. Try not to lean forward. Keep it lifted. Get grounded through your tailbone and lift up through the crown of your head. Arms can be strong out to the side. You can bring your hands to your heart, hands to your hips. It's your choice with the arms, wherever you need it to be. Nice strong legs. Pivot to your warrior two now, facing the back edge of your mat. Warrior two. Gazes over the middle finger of the right hand. Warrior two, inhale, lift that arm up and come into your peaceful warrior. Lift your heart, lift your gaze. Front knee still bent. Relax that shoulder and really find a nice big deep inhale and a deep exhale. Lower your arm behind you and interlace your hands behind your back. We're going to move into humble warrior. So you can choose to just stay here. That's one choice. If you choose to bend at your hips into humble warrior, bowing your head down, you can stay with your torso resting on your thigh. Or if you choose to, you can drop your head to the inside of your right knee and extend your arms up and over off your back. That's a big shoulder opening, not always available, but if you choose to experience it, see how that feels. Release your fingertips down to your mat and step back into your downward dog. Draw your shoulder blades down the back. Lift your left leg up to the sky, a three-legged dog. Let's open up that hip right now by bending that left knee if you can. You don't have to, this is optional. But if you'd like to bend it as if you're trying to kick your heel into your buttocks, notice how that feels today. Then straighten the leg and then step it forward as you're going to come up into a warrior one. Lift all the way up, warrior one. Relax your shoulders. Now transition to the opposite side, the long edge of your mat, into either five-pointed star or into your squat temple pose. From temple, face the front of your mat into a high lunge. Again, another option here is to stay, or you're going to come into a twist. Lower the left fingertips to the mat and extend your arms up into lunge with twist. Lower both hands down to the mat, step the back foot forward, and then inhale, come on up. All the way up, palms to touch, hands to heart. We'll do the opposite side. Transfer the weight now onto your right leg. The heel of your left foot is resting on your ankle bone on the inside of your shin. Tree pose. From tree pose, move into your warrior three, extending your left leg behind you. Grounding down through the right foot. Step your left foot back. Come up to your warrior one. Warrior one, transition to your five-pointed star or your squat. Again, choice is yours. Transition to warrior two, left foot, facing the back of your mat, left knee bent. Gazes over the middle finger of your left hand. Lift your left arm up to the sky in a peaceful warrior. Interlace both hands behind your back now. We're going to take a humble warrior variation. Take variation that feels appropriate for you today. Hinge at your hips. You can rest your torso on your thigh or bring your head closer to the inside of your left shin. Option to lift your arms away from your back or keep them resting on your back. Bring both hands back to your mat and step back into your downward dog. Left foot back to meet the right, downward dog. Bring your right leg up to the sky, bend your right knee now, and open up that right hip. If you're trying to kick your heel into your buttocks, feel that stretch. Keep your shoulder blades down the back. Try to keep your shoulders squared, but the hip really opens up here. Extend the left leg up, and then the right leg up, and extend your right foot to the right hand. Inhale as you come up to warrior one. And then open up into five-pointed star transition or temple transition. Spin your toes to the front of your mat. High lunge. Your choice. Stay in your high lunge. Or if you choose to add a twist, lower your right hand under your right shoulder and add a twist. Notice how that feels. Bring both hands down to the mat, step your back foot forward, and then inhale, come all the way up, palms to touch. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart. And just pause here and notice the physical sensations of this practice. Notice how you feel. We'll do this round again, and I will add on a little bit more. You may choose to do it or not. Again, remember, this is your practice. Just keep it at a pace that feels supported for you in your practice this morning. So we'll start again, back at the front of your mat, hands to heart, shoulder blades down the back. Find your gazing point, find your drishti for the balance. We're going to start with standing on the left foot. So find the four corners of the left leg. Left foot grounding down. Take the sole of the heel or the heel of your right foot to the inside of your ankle or slide it up. Bring your right knee forward and then extend it back into your warrior three. Variation of your choice. Toe on the ground. Or lean forward and lift that leg up. Step your right foot back and come up into warrior one. Warrior one into our temple pose. Reach your arms long. Inhale, sweep your arms up, look up. Exhale, bring your hands down through your heart. We're going to repeat. Inhale, bring your arms long. Inhale, up, look up. Exhale, bring your hands down to your heart. One more round. Inhale, bring your arms out long. Sweep them up, look up. And then exhale, bring them down to your heart. Transition to warrior two. Right knee bent, gaze out over the middle finger of your right hand. Inhale up into exalted warrior. This time you might want to straighten the leg if that feels available to you. We call this reverse triangle. Really stretch through the side waist here and breathe deep into the sides of your ribs. Nice and deep full inhale and a deep full exhale. Now interlace your hands behind your back. You're going to pivot forward here, square your hips. Now you can come into pyramid pose here if you choose, otherwise keep your knee bent. But in pyramid pose, you're going to hinge from your hips, come into a nice flat back. You extend your arms off your back. If this feels too much for you, you can bring your hands to your thighs. Again, I want to give you choices. Gently now bend that front knee. Place your fingertips to the floor. We're going to step up into a standing split. Now you don't have to, you can stay right here. If you choose to transfer your weight onto that right foot and then step up and lift your back leg all the way up, draw your torso towards your thigh as you come into a standing split. If you want the challenge of balance, bring your right hand to your right ankle and maybe bring your left hand as well. But bring both hands back down to the mat. Step your left foot down to the mat. If it's up, step your right foot back to downward dog. We all meet up in downward dog. Lift your left leg up, three-legged dog, and step it up to meet the left hand, warrior one. From warrior one, we're going to move into the five-pointed star or into your variation, goddess or temple pose. Point your toes to the front of the mat as you come into a high lunge. And here again is another option to stay here, or you come into a twist. In the twist, your left hand is down, right arm is up. I'm going to offer one more choice here. You can stay here if you're here, but if you choose to and you want to come back into side plank, you have two choices. You can drop the knee of the left leg and extend back into a side plank variation, or full side plank where you extend both legs and come up into side plank. So your left arm is down, right arm is up, side plank, your variation. If this is too much for you, lower the bottom leg. Please listen to your body. Inhale here, come back to plank. We're going to drop knees, chest, and chin onto our belly. Inhale up to cobra. Exhale, come down. Lift up into downward dog. Walk your feet all the way up to the front of your mat. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. Pause and observe. Feel the energy flow. Repeat that now on the other side. Your right leg is your standing leg. The heel of your left foot is on the inside of your right ankle. Lift your left knee up and then extend the left leg back into your warrior three. Step your left foot down to the mat and come up to warrior one. Right knee bent. Heart open. Transition, point your toes to your left. Take your five-pointed star or take your temple pose. Inhale the arms up, look up. Exhale, bring the hands down to your heart. Two more times. Inhale, extend the arms out. Look up, lift up. Straighten your legs. Exhale, squat. Back to temple. Last one. Extend your arms out. Look up. Exhale, bring your heart, hands to your heart. Move into your warrior two. Left foot facing the back edge of your mat. Left knee bent. Gaze over the middle finger of that front arm. Inhale up to peaceful warrior. Or if you choose to straighten that front leg, reverse triangle. Soften and breathe deep into the sideways. Now as you exhale, we're going to bring interlace your hands behind your back. Draw the knuckles down. We'll come into pyramid pose. So you're going to bring that right foot slightly forward, straighten that left leg. And again, choices, you can stay right here or you can hinge at your hips as you come into a forward bend, pyramid pose. Some of you might want to come about halfway. Others might want to drape your torso right over that leg. Again, this is a very personal practice. Make this what you need for today. You can lift your arms away from your back if you choose to. Options. You can spice up your shoulders or not. Release your hands down to the floor and bend your left knee as you transfer your weight onto that left leg. If you choose to, you can step up into standing split, or you're just going to stay in a lunge. Your choice. If you choose to step up, transfer the weight to the left leg, lift the right leg up, drop your torso towards your thigh, and lift that back leg up, standing split. If you want more of a challenge with your split, bring your hand to the ankle, and bring your other hand to the ankle or not. Lower the back foot, and now step back into your downward dog, please. Three-legged dog, lift your right leg up. Step your right foot to your right hand. Warrior one, facing the back of your mat. Right knee bent, heart is open. Relax your shoulders and breathe. Point your toes to the long edge of your mat now and take your variation. 5-pointed star, or take your temple pose. Shoulders down the back. Strong arms maybe. Point to high lunge. Here's the variations now. Again, I offer you choices to stay here. You can just hold this pose. You can add a twist by lowering your right hand onto your right shoulder and twist by lifting your left arm up. Lunge with a twist. The next option is to whether or not you're going to take this to a side plank. And again, I want to give you choices. You can stay here. You want to do side plank, drop the back knee, extend the left leg long, side plank variation, or extend both legs out long, stack your hips, stack your shoulders, gaze is up towards your lifted arm. Inhale. Exhale back to plank. You can do chaturanga or knees, chest, and chin here, your choice. Onto your belly. Inhale up to cobra. Relax those shoulder blades down the back. Lift your heart. Look forward. Soften your mouth. Relax your cheeks. Feel the energy of this beautiful back bending pose. As you exhale, lower down. Tuck your toes. Come back into your downward dog. From your downward dog, bend your knees, step forward to the front of your mat. As you inhale, come all the way up, sweep your arms up overhead. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Bow your heart inward. Pause here. And just feel those sensations now. Let your hands come down by your sides. Take a snapshot again from when you first started the practice. Notice those physical energies in your body now. Notice any shifts with its special intention. Coming back to your intention for this practice. As you inhale now and exhale, I'm going to invite you now. We're going to slowly come, separate your feet nice and wide on the long edge of your mat. We're going to come into a squat. So again, if a squat is not really available for you today, you can just come to a seat. For those of you who want to take a squat to open up your hips, you're going to bend your knees, all right? Toe heel into a comfortable place as you bend your knees in a squat. Inhale here, and then on your exhale, if you want to lower your hips even more, bring your fingertips to the floor, and then if you can, I have my elbows wedged on the inside of my knees. I bring my hands to my heart, and here's a squat. Now, if this again is not available for you today, you can just be sitting on the floor. That's perfectly fine. If you have a squat, just notice that physical sensation of really getting deep and grounded into the earth. This is really very powerful into the root area of your spine. This represents our security. It represents our connection to Mother Earth, really deep. Take one more breath. And then as you exhale, lower yourself to your mat, all right? And I'm going to invite you, we're going to come into a nice extended stretch. So extend your legs out in front. Press the backs of your thighs to the floor, knees and toes pointing up. Sit up nice and tall. We're going to come into forward fold. So inhale, reach your arms up, relax your shoulder blades, and hinge from your hips as you come forward. Extend your arms out. You can reach towards your toes if that's available, or just let your hands come to your knees, your shins, your ankles. Gently let yourself come forward. Forward folds at the end of a practice are very, very nurturing. Allows you to start to go inward now as we start to cool down. Bring your forehead towards the front and just maybe soften your gaze inward. Notice the sensations. Relax your shoulders, relax your spine. Gently make your way back up. And we're going to come down onto our spine on our mat. So I'll invite you to bend your knees, scoot your feet up towards the front edge of your mat, and then you're going to come onto your back. As you come onto your spine, we're going to be in that constructive rest pose with your knees bent, feet flat on the floor. Feel the back body on your mat. Draw your shoulder blades down the back. Hands down by your sides. We're going to do the bridge pose. So with your feet flat on the floor, bridge gently lifts your hips and pelvis up off the mat with an inhale, and then on an exhale, we're going to lower. We'll do that 2 more times. Lift your hips, and then exhale, lower. The next time you lift your hips, I'll invite you to lift your arms up, and if you choose, bring your arms overhead, and then exhale, lower. This is called dynamic bridge. We'll do dynamic bridge 2 more times with the arms, coordinating movement with your hips, and breath. Lower on your exhale, inhale on your lift. Lower on your exhale, and rest. Once you get back to stillness, bring both knees into your chest. Gently rock from side to side. Knees together, ankles together. Gently guide your knees into your chest, so you're hugging your knees now. And another gentle stretch for the back of your body. Inhale. As you exhale, bring your forehead up towards your knees and feel the stretch in the back of your neck. Lower your head back to your mat, hug your right knee in and extend your left leg out. Let's point and flex at the ankles for 3, 2, and 1. Now extend the right leg up towards the ceiling and circle your ankle for 3, 2, and 1. And then the other way, please. 3, 2, and 1. Hug that right leg back in. With your right hand on the right knee, just gently guide that right knee out to the side for a little side opening hip stretch. For those of you who want a bigger extension, you can extend that right leg out. You can reach for your knee, your ankle, or even the big toe for a nice stretch. Get this nice stretch through the back of your legs, the inner thigh muscles. Take one more breath. And then as you exhale, bend the knee, guide it back to your midline. Bend this left knee again, cross that right ankle right over that left knee and press that right thigh away from your body. And just gently bring it back and forth, just opening up through that hip joint. Nice stretching now. And for those of you who want to go into thread the needle, lift that left leg up, clasp behind the thigh, and go for that nice stretch now. Hips are nice and warm. This may really be a good time to practice this. Then release the right leg down to the ground. Hug your left knee into your chest. Point and flex for 1, 2, and 3. Then extend the left leg up and circle the ankle for 3, 2, 1. And then circle the other way for 3, 2, and 1. Bend that left knee back into your chest. With your left hand on the left knee, just gently guide it out to the side, opening up through that hip. For those of you who want to extend that leg, you can go for a nice internal adductor stretch. Bend that knee, bring it back to center. Now slide the right foot flat on the mat and cross your left ankle over the right knee, opening up through that hip flexor. You feel that right in the crease of your left hip. You'd like to gently move the knee back and forth. This is just a nice way of opening up the front and the back of the hip. And then a deeper stretch for those of you who might choose to is to lift that right leg up. Go thread the needle. This really opens up the piriformis in the back of the hips. Take one more breath. And then exhale, we're going to lower that foot to the ground, extend both legs out long. We're going to finish now with a nice long body stretch. Extend your arms overhead, press through your heels, take a super big inhale, fill your lungs as much as you possibly can with this beautiful breath, beautiful prana. This is our life-giving force. Feel the connection to your breath, to this energy. Hold it a little bit. Feel that prana, feel that energetics within your body, and then when you can't hold it anymore, exhale out with a great big sigh. Let your arms come down by your sides, let your body rest. Windshield wiper your feet, your legs, shake out your arms. Any last minute tension you may or may not be holding on to, just notice what you need to do to feel a little bit more relaxed and prepare for your relaxation. So take whatever you need so that you could be even 5% more relaxed. And I will guide you through a practice called 61 points. It's a nice way to move through the different areas of your body with a sense of awareness. There's nothing that you need to do other than as I guide you through these different points in your body, you just soften and allow yourself to rest even deeper. So taking a moment now to settle, finding the most supportive position for you at this moment. Be aware of your surroundings. Be aware of the sounds around you. Be aware of the supports beneath you. Invite your body to yield to gravity. Invite your body to just settle even more. There's no right or wrong to this practice, it's just being. Softening now from your forehead. Softening your facial features, softening now at your throat. Bring your attention into the right shoulder joint, your right elbow joint, the right wrist, thumb of your right hand, index finger, middle finger, ring finger, pinky. The inside of your right wrist, the inside of your right elbow, the right armpit. Back to the center of your throat, to your left shoulder, left elbow joint, left wrist, thumb of the left hand, index finger, middle finger, ring finger, pinky. Inside of the left wrist, the inside of the left elbow joint, your left armpit. Back to the center of your throat, down to the center of your heart, to the center of your right breast, back to the center of your heart, to the center of your left breast, back to the center of your heart, down to your navel center, down to the pelvic bone, your right hip joint, your right knee joint, your right ankle, to the toes of the right foot, big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, pinky toe, the heel of the right foot, the back of your right knee, the back of your right hip, back to the sacrum, the back of your pelvis, to the left hip joint, to the left knee joint, your left ankle, the toes of your left foot, big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe, to your left ankle, to the back of your left knee, to the back of your left hip, to the back of the body, the back of your sacrum, to the back of your navel, to the back of your heart, to the back of your throat, to the third eye in the middle of your head, to the crown of your head, so that your entire body now is resting, resting in stillness. Pause in stillness with your body, mind, and breath. Slowly now, gently guide your awareness back to the physical body by breathing a little bit deeper. More awareness, perhaps to the fingers. Take the tip of your thumb to each finger as you move through each hand, each fingertip one by one. Maybe gently begin to wiggle your toes. When your body feels ready to begin to move, begin to stretch. Extend your arms overhead, extend your legs long. Take another great big inhale and a nice long, slow exhale. When your body is ready to move, perhaps bend your knees, place the feet on the floor, or gather the knees into your chest. wherever the intelligence of your own body is guiding you on how to move right now, please listen to your own physical body as you move. Pausing, for, if you would, for just one more moment and feeling the effects of the practice now. Noticing that any time that you choose to go to that sanctuary, that place of peace, that place of your wisdom, your truth, your light, it is always there, waiting for you to arrive. And then, very mindfully and carefully, slowly push yourself up to a seated position. As we now come to the conclusion of our